Hello everybody and welcome back to day 3 of GamesCom 2016, live here from the Frontier Developments booth. We're talking again, of course, about the amazing Elite Dangerous. I'm raising up my seat a little bit because I want to be up there with the tallest dad. There you go.
You can never be up. You're not a dad, first of all.
That's more accurate, isn't it, I suppose? Sorry, should have done this before the stream started. We've had a really good morning. Didn't we have a lovely morning?
We had a cracking morning. I think it was really exciting to talk about the things we're allowed to. From a quick look at the Twitter and things like that, it seems like what we were talking about this morning's gone down pretty well. I think it's safe to say.
I think so.
On top of course, all the other stuff we've already spoken about over day 1, 2 as well. So, yeah. Super cool.
So today we have, of course, we're going to do another competition. I think we're going to choose a winner as well from the competition we did to name a planet earlier.
Yes.
However, I'm going to have to get somebody behind the backstage to tell me who we've chosen as the winner because I don't have it in front of me.
Was it me?
It wasn't you, Sandy. I'm very sorry.
I just want to confirm. Marco. That's
One second, I'm just confirming. No, they're quite rudely telling you to...
Never mind.
To shut up.
To stop entering the competition.
All right, guys, so we've got some more stuff to show you today as well. And in fact, we are going to go back and recap some of the stuff from earlier on that you did really enjoy. And there are things that we left over that we wanted to try and cover in the first half, but actually we didn't manage to. We've got some questions as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up those things that we missed, answer a couple of questions from the forums and from Twitter, and we want to keep those coming in, please. So use the hashtag AskElite and go to the forums as well and find the stickied post in Dangerous Discussion. To add your questions there, and then we will try and get to them tomorrow because we have got more stuff, and we are, I think, doing an entire day recap session.
Yeah.
But there are things as well that you haven't seen yet that you should come along for tomorrow, including David Braben, the conclusion of the David Braben interviews as well. But you're going to get part 3 of that at the end of this, and also the amazing Adam is going to.
Good luck.
You're going to go through everything that we've. It's the game that we play at the end. You're going to
Adam's average automated
recap.
I'm trying to think of something with an A, but it doesn't. There's no other A.
Alliteration only goes so far.
Yeah, I'll think of something tonight.
So Sandy Samarco, Purple Ronnie.
Hello.
And tallest dad. I got this Purple Ronnie. Somebody likes Vimto. Is that Vimto? Is he the Vimto? And the Joker himself, it's Adam Woods. He's here with us. So let's recap a little bit about this morning because you guys did enjoy some of the footage. I think it's out there on YouTube already. If it's not, it will be after this live stream in particular. I think I want to show again some of the variants, some of the CQC variants. In case you didn't see it, pointing some of that stuff. Queue it up. We'll try and get through these relatively quickly so we can show new stuff. But let's just remind people what they might have missed.
Well,
play it on the screen. Why not? While Adam talks about it. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. So on top of all the new port variants that we're going to add in 2.2 and the inner dock variants, while Ed masterfully thank you. We're also going to bring that variety and extra life into space as well. So we're not just looking at the inner docks, we're also going to bring in some of the CQC architecture that you guys and gals are more than used to looking at. We're going to theme them based on the system itself, so there'll be different civilian installations, military installations, scientific installations, things like that. We just think it's a really nice place to meet up with. You know, you guys can use them as you will, which will look awesome. Of course, they'll have all the standard ambient traffic and AI kind of things happening around there as well. Maybe there's some things to scoop or scan, get some data and things like that from them. That was a very loud shout.
Yep.
As well as that, you're also going to have the capital ship dock yard. I keep saying it the capital ship dock. You can call it the capital ship yard, but it's the same thing.
It's a shipyard where the capital ship
if
gets
we can
docked.
cue that video up next as well, just have another quick sneak peek at what I class as the best looking capital ship because I'm a Federation boy.
Go Federation.
So you're going to see brand new architecture that no one has seen before. There's another Fed boy in the crowd.
Cheering.
I like it. Good.
Boys.
Oh, there's a boo.
So, well, that's changed the mood entirely.
We'll ignore him for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
So
can we have that man escorted out of the area, please?
We're going to bring in the new capital shipyards, get up close and personal with the capital ships, and really see all their
Let's see
detail.
if you could come back to us actually on screen if possible, just really quickly. Oh, hello. Oh, we got a little sneak peek about what we're showing next. Yeah, I've just been told that I've actually have the winner from the Name a Planet competition that we ran earlier. So we asked you what you would name your planet. We asked in the chat, I think it was. And the winner is a Theo Bouvier. Ooh, Theo
Well
Bouvier.
done.
Theo
Well done.
Bouvier.
Well done.
Well done.
A very fancy name. He would name his planet Atreya. So that's quite a cool name as well.
Yeah.
Atreya.
that's cool.
So that's what he's going to name his planet.
Well done.
What we'll do is if you send us I hope you're watching this, we will find you. I am a man with a certain set of skills, and I will find you, and I will contact you on YouTube. And when I do, now, so we'll find you, contact YouTube, and I'll send over details on how you can claim your prize. But yes, once again, congratulations to Theo Beauvoir. We'll have more really cool prizes tomorrow. In fact, we've got quite a few lined up. And you know what? Let's give away some Razer stuff as well at the end of this one.
Yeah?
Let's
You're so generous.
Feeling generous today.
Yeah, it's good.
That sounds cool. All
It's
right.
like Christmas.
So, yes, I think another thing that people really seem to like this morning from this morning stream was the new Galaxy map stuff. So why don't you talk to us?
So we're also we're improving or adding a small. I say small. It's quite big actually. Now instead of just the grid of a planet that you can land on, you get the actual planet in all its 3D beautifulness, and in some cases. Potato-iness, which is an affectionate term for some of the more lumpy planets. You can see all the features. You can even see on some of the small ones, you can actually get a feeling of the mountain ranges. But then on the bigger ones, they seem more spherical and smooth
Because
of the scales.
Yeah.
So immediately you're seeing the fact that we build these planets on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah,
in
look
terms
how
of
cool they
size.
look.
Is this where you
And
give
of
the
course, all the
example?
features match up as well. So, you know, you see anything that you see, any of the features you see, which I think I've timed just
like
perfectly.
this giant crater.
On the planet map, you can then see in game, which is I couldn't have timed that better myself.
Well done,
So you
sir.
can see there we had that really big crater with its ejector kind of. I don't know what. I think it is ejector, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where
something
the
like
kind
that.
of the
bits that come
fingers
out.
that spider out around the ejector.
The
crater, you
scientifically,
can
the
see
bits
them.
that come out.
I'm
Sorry,
full of
David, if we're
scientific
getting this wrong.
terms.
We're
Sorry,
not
David.
scientists.
Sorry,
Ejector
David.
Sorry.
fingers. And
Yes,
stuff.
if everyone in the chat could please say hello to David Braben, just in case he's watching. Hello, David Braben.
Hi, David.
I hope he is. I hope he's watching us here.
He's probably cringing
Murder
if he
his
is.
game. Yeah, no, we're not. We're not really. It's great. We're doing the best job we possibly can. All right, so we've got some questions, and what I want to do is, in between the stuff that we've left out, because you kept saying to me before we start, literally seconds before we started this section of the stream, you said to me, "Oh, did we talk about this?" And I was like, "Oh no, we didn't talk about that." So there are a few things like that that maybe we should tie up. But talk about one, then we'll answer a couple of questions from the forums. And we'll go back, talk about some more stuff. We've got some imagery to show on some paint jobby type stuff as well, which is very
small
cool.
reveals, which I think
Yeah, some nice
will
little
go
cool
down
reveals.
quite well.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I believe so. And then, of course, David Braben interview video and the community video as well to close, as well as a competition.
Lovely.
So do stick around for all of that stuff. Sandy, what is the first thing that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, so I was meant to talk about this morning, but there's too much and I forgot.
we ran
So I
out
have
of
a tiny
time.
brain.
I think, didn't we?
Pardon?
We ran out of time.
We ran out of time
Yeah,
and
not
I
because
ran out of
you're an
memory
idiot.
in my mind. So along with, so today we've been going on about quality of life improvements for players, for new players and experts, to make the game just easier to get on with, remove the barriers from the fun. So there's another little feature that we're calling at the moment the shady contact. That is a work in progress name. So this is a
I'm sure that I saw that somewhere in Cologne last night, actually, when we were out. I think I saw this.
Quite
I saw the
possibly.
shady contact.
Quite possibly. So the shady contact will only appear at starports in low security systems because they operate in a kind of grey area in the law. But what they let you do is make extrajudicial payments. So what I mean by that is normally if you someone issues a bounty and you kill the ship and you've got a bounty voucher to claim, or if you commit a crime and you get fined, normally you have to hand in those vouchers at a starport in the system that they were issued.
Okay.
And of course, if you've travelled a long way, because the galaxy is really huge, it can be a really long journey to go back, and sometimes it's just not very cost effective.
Yeah.
You know, it's not worth the time and money to do it.
Right.
So the shady contact will allow you to pay off all fines across all of human space and claim any bounty.
Shady business.
Any bounty from
shady
anywhere in
broker.
human space, and they'll do it instantly for you there and then.
What's the catch?
It's not free. These guys want their cut.
Yeah.
So any time that you pay off a fine, which is still really important because if you don't pay off a fine, it will mature into a bounty on you, which is a lot worse because then people can start hunting you down. But so if you pay that fine off, you'll be paying more because these brokers, these kind of grey brokers, get their cut. And if you're claiming a bounty, then they'll take some of that bounty cut. So we're probably looking around 20%, 25% maybe. But it's still it's better than not getting anything at all.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to clear that transaction tab. You'll be able to clear out a lot of those entries rather than it being cluttered up with stuff which you kind of would do, but you haven't got time to complete. So it's another small quality of life feature.
Sounds good. Yeah.
It also allows you to not have to worry about taking the risk of going back to the system that you got a fine in the first place. Like if you were carrying stolen goods or illegal goods in that system, but you hadn't managed to finish the transaction with them, but you didn't want to have the fine, you don't have to go back there and risk getting another fine for carrying them. You can, go and do your business.
Again, it's not a headline feature. It's just one of those little lovely features we get to slip in every now and again. It will make a big difference.
The day-to-day, lots of repetition in this feature. So.
Sandy headline feature Samarco. Sandy, it's not a headline feature Samarco today.
No, well, we've already got enough of those. Thank you very much. We've got ship launch fighters and passenger gameplay.
Why don't you tell us about them? No, I'm joking. Right, okay, let's answer some questions from the forums because we've got quite a few on here. So let's begin with Laurie from the forums. Thank you very much, Laurie, for asking us a question. Remember, you can do that too. Head over to the forums. You'll find a sticky post within there. Also, you can use the hashtag AskElite. So do that, and you might get your question answered tomorrow. Okay, can fighters target skimmers and base turrets?
Yeah, so basically fighters are going to follow the same rules around targeting that your main ship does. So any limitations or anything that your main ship can target, fighters will be able to target as well.
They're
so
still
they'll be useful
ships.
in lots of different situations like that.
I think really also because they're so manoeuvrable, they can get in and get out and get really close a lot easier.
Okay. Well, Laurie also asks, can you name your NPC fighter pilots?
No, you can't because they already have names.
They are people.
They've got their little backgrounds, their little bios, and their appearance. So not initially. In the future, who knows? Maybe, but not for launch.
You could give them nicknames yourself.
You could call them Maverick or Goose.
Or Goose.
They're the only ones I know.
Iceman. Slider.
Slider?
Yeah.
Who's that?
It was Iceman's wingman.
You know your Top Gun.
I know
Top Gun knowledge here.
Top Gun, not Top Gear.
So later on the Top Gun live live stream, we're going to be talking about now. We're going to talk about Tom Cruise. Is he really a nice guy or not? We'll never know. I think he is. I like him. Anyway, moving on. One more question here. Weps on the forum says, in a PvP interdiction scenario, and we're going to have to bear with me. It's a long question.
Okay.
Thanks, Weps. No, it's good. One commander launches a fighter against his opponent. Assuming that the fighter appears on the opponent's sensors, does he see both the main ship and the tender as hollow triangles? Assuming both have weapons. I think that's a summary.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's the same person. If I just confused myself, right? Okay. Do you know where they're going with this? Can you summarize the question?
They're asking that on the scanner, the contact.
If it's a human player,
the blob on the head, is
hollow.
it hollow or full? And they're asking what are the rules around that with ship launch fighters.
So the way it's going to work, hopefully it's quite nice and legible. Whichever ship the player is in will have the hollow marker. Whichever ship they're not in will have a filled-in marker.
So when they change them,
so they'll see them changing around. So it's always very clear where the player
work out where
is.
the control is. That's really
that's true.
cool.
Yeah. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to do it any other way. In fairness, so it's nice and clear and it's consistent.
It's the way that's the no-brainer way to do it, but actually it's actually very smart as well at the same time. Anyway,
hopefully.
So that's we'll get back to the questions in just a second, but before we do, this is quite cool. We've got some cosmetic stuff to show you before David Braben's video, but I think all this stuff that we're going to show is really cool. And actually, the first thing is when we released ship kits a while ago. I think people were pretty psyched about it. Stuff on the Sidewinder and the Cobra. But obviously people were looking for those who have ships that they bought, obviously our core audience. We've got some guys here wearing some Elite t-shirts, by the way. Hey guys, thank you very much for coming down.
Thanks for watching and playing.
I think they're probably more interested in stuff that,
Other
sort
ships.
of the higher ships, so the ones that are further down the line. So why don't we show off one of those for now, or a couple of those for now. For example, he says, looking at his, why don't we show the ASP
Yes.
The AST, a
using
very
some of the
popular
ship
ship.
kits there.
Look
There
at
you go.
that.
So that's
Wow.
When I saw this only the first
I'm looking
time
that
just
way.
before we came out, and A, the colour scheme is awesome,
Yeah, it's nice.
and B, the ship kit itself has made a
Is that a trendy spoiler I can see?
Well,
right
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Look at that.
So
Yeah.
let me tell you as well about the ship kits. Of course, they that isn't the only ship kit. The ship kits come in pieces, so there's like
Yes,
loads of
yeah.
different combinations
So
of things you can put onto it.
absolutely, it
It just gives
follows-
it gives it a bit of a unique appearance
yeah,
to your
sure.
ship. It is part of cosmetics that you can buy, that you can purchase in the
Yeah,
livery.
vanity items only. You
Yeah.
buy them from frontierstore.net.
Yep.
Um,
Nice.
Always on message.
Commission.
Buy them and then they'll appear in your account.
Yeah.
Like I say, they're only vanity items, but they're a really nice way to customize your ship.
Yep.
The ship kits can be used in different
Combinations?
combinations. That's exactly the word. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
And I think it just makes the ASP look ready for business.
Should we
It looks-
show?
it's looking pretty sleek.
It's got a
Yeah.
real purpose about it. I really like the spoiler part on that one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
Should we
really
show
nice.
the Viper Mark IV? Or sorry, Viper Mark III.
Mark III, yeah.
A classic. Wow.
Look at that.
It looks like a chunky tank. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's,
that's looking good.
yeah.
It's
That's
massive
looking
now.
swell.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, just an
Again, it's
example
just-
of what the customizations may look like, but
Yes,
you can
yeah,
use
yeah.
those around
Yeah.
in different areas.
It's one of the configurations.
One of many.
configurations.
One of many. Completely up to the players how they want to lay the kits out, but it just makes such a difference. Seemingly small pieces being bolted on can completely change.
It can change the silhouette of
the
the
way
ship,
of it, and, it
and
makes
that's
it look
really
lovely.
important,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I think I did
How
skip.
you want it to look as well.
Yeah, I think I skipped an image there, but we'll go back to it later. I want to do some more questions.
Yep.
Again, this section is
Uh-oh.
going to be answering a lot of questions as well. But remember, we have got the David Braben Part 3 interview coming up, which is very, very cool. Got some really interesting, juicy information in there,
Yeah.
as you all are becoming aware. And yeah, anyway, so
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the Tenderizer 01. Welcome, the Tenderizer. Thanks again for sending in
Hi.
this question. He asks, given how the fighters already have paint jobs, can we finally get paint jobs for the Corvette, the Cutter, and other things like that?
Yeah. We're always, as shown with the ship kits, we're always looking to create new paint jobs,
Yep.
ship kits, a variety of things that you guys can then purchase and customize your ship with.
And-
so
and if
yeah,
you- and if
we're
you-
always
if you-
looking for.
If you remain patient, we do have.
If you remain very
but
patient,
just stick around for
maybe,
just a little
maybe
longer.
not.
It's
Just
an
keep
ongoing-
watching. There might be some
Stuff,
It's an ongoing
some
process.
more things to see.
It's an ongoing process.
Yes. Also, question number 2. I'm not going to read that one.
Which one's that?
Question
Oh
number
no,
2.
I'll read it instead. If you're not going to read it, I'll read it.
I don't
I
want.
can
to.
take it.
Question number 2, he asks, also, can we get an Ed Lewis and a Space Loach bobblehead?
Nope.
Who would like to see an Ed Lewis bobblehead?
No one wants to see.
Oh,
it.
yeah!
That's
These
quite-
4 guys, and that's it. That's
Oh,
why
that's
they're
more than
here.
4 guys.
They
Would you
just-
pay like €100 for one?
Don't say that. Don't. What?
All right, that's it.
They will
Good
literally
deal.
make that now. No, don't.
I'll make it. I will learn how
Yeah.
to do my own. I'll make it.
If I can make it in my spare time, like at the weekend, and it would be so bad though. Can you imagine how it would look? It would just be a stick figure's face.
It would have perfect hair.
It would be terrible. Space Loach as well. Space Loach bobblehead, of
Yes.
course. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So somebody says we want them. That came from the Tenderizer. Thank you, the Tenderizer. It's very
Thank you,
kind of you.
Tenderizer.
Metageist. Sorry about murdering the pronunciation of your forum name. Now that fighters like the Condor have a defined glass cannon role, which you can maybe clear up what that means in a second.
Yep.
Will the fighters that patrol space stations and sometimes fight in combat zones be updated to have those same capabilities? So what did you mean by glass cannon, first of all?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
so what I meant by glass cannon was that they are very fragile but very, very powerful. So that adds a really nice tactical decision when you come up against a fighter as to what your general, how you're going to assess the situation and deal with it. We saw in some of the footage yesterday, which you so expertly helped me capture,
Oh, yeah.
that we played a couple of scenarios. You didn't focus on me, and I took you out, and you were in a Python. But then you, I think, maybe we didn't show it, but we had a fight where you did focus on me, and I had a real hard time and was
Yes.
wiped out very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it adds a really, really nice balance to combat situations now. But
So that's
As
a
a
as for the
question.
question,
that's a really good question. Who is that?
Sorry, this is from. Oh. You did that on purpose. Wait, let me
Right,
try.
no,
Let me
so,
try again. Meta the Urgist. There you go.
Right.
Meta the Urgist. What
Meta
did I
the
say?
Urgist.
Meta.
Right, so
Anyway.
at the moment, they are different. They are different builds.
Okay.
So the player-controlled ship launch fighters, although ostensibly they've got the same frame, they've got different setup of modules and capabilities compared to the ones that are used by security forces.
Yeah.
We're investigating this. We may make them the same. It would make sense, but they might remain different. You know, like police cars. You know, they're often souped up and different from normal like civilian versions.
Civilian versions of the cars.
So you can think of it more like that at the moment.
Okay.
Importantly, if we do make any changes, it will have to be based on iterative balance.
Yeah.
Because what we don't want to do is suddenly populate, for example, a starport's or any system's defences with a load of ships that are just absolute nightmares or aren't that powerful.
Yeah.
So it all comes into this really complex balancing that we're doing with ship launch fighters across the board. So we'll get an answer closer. Well, obviously, we'll have an answer for beta for the players to test out.
Yeah.
So, but it will be basically we'll be doing our own iterative testing up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the answer is possibly. They might end up being the same, but they might end up being different. Both ways work.
Yeah.
Okay, so question here from at the Star Nut. He says, question here for you, and that says, if I'm in a Type 9 and
Oh right. Yeah.
oh, God. If I'm in a Type 9
Mm-hmm.
and I see that there's I'm trading, but I see that there's a conflict zone nearby.
Oh, yeah.
What can I do?
I think. What can you do,
I
Adam?
don't tell us, yeah.
I could just be mute for the whole rest of the screen and not answer anymore.
Okay,
That's what I could
that
do.
is, sorry, call back to
You
earlier
can
on.
transfer your ship instantly
Whoa,
now for a
that's
small
amazing.
fee based on distance and your value. So
This
you
is
can
wonderful
you can
news.
move your fleet around. You can get that Type 9 across or the Vulture across, depending on your needs.
So these guys might not
Sadly.
actually know
Yeah.
this.
Boom
Like, I don't know
shanker.
if you saw that this morning, that we have included ship transfer into the game now, which is great. So I hope you... yeah, you happy with that? He's happy.
Yeah.
He's very,
Is
really
he
happy.
please?
He's got an
He's
onion head
definitely a
t-shirt
sort of
on. I
man
think
that's
he's
got a
losing his
Type
mind.
9 somewhere and
Okay.
he needs to shift it around.
One more real question. Infernal Jawa, a couple of questions.
One more, two more.
Damn it, Jawa, you got me. Will combat zones at some point in the future spawn on the planet's surface and near non-landable settlements?
Will combat zones spawn on planet surface?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
near non-landable settlements.
Okay, so there currently aren't any plans in the near term, but clearly we can have AI ships fighting above the planet's surface. So that avenue remains
Yeah.
open,
Yep.
and we're always looking to add more content and
Yeah.
more variety. So it seems like a very obvious potential route to take. We just got nothing to announce at the moment,
Yeah.
but we
It's
can
a
do
very
it.
interesting point, though. It's quite a
Yeah.
quite a nice.
And it's
Oh,
the
was
sa-
it- was it-
I think it's the same answer with the second question, which
What was
is...
the second one? The second part was?
will we get tanks? I think he means
Oh,
like
tanks,
other
like-
SRV things and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh well, that's something else.
Sound
That's AA.
effects.
Okay,
If we do tanks, we know how to get the audio
Right.
for them,
Yeah,
right?
here we go. that's it.
we've got absolutely nothing to talk about with
No,
for
no-
any
no
additional
more
ground
sort of
vehicles at
land
the
vehicles.
moment.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. One more. The reciprocator. In fact, no. We'll get back to the reciprocator in a second. Thank you for all your
Sorry,
questions so far.
reciprocator.
Let's bring up another image. We've got a couple more images of more of those ship kits. We've got here. This one is the Python. So
Ooh.
I think this is my
anybody-
favourite one.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's been shown
So
so
what
far.
they've done to that is
That is
make it.
so nice.
What a beat!
Yeah. It's really cool, the way that you can customize your ship in some really interesting ways.
Yeah.
And remember
Yeah.
that you can use all these different individual pieces however you choose. So you could take certain areas
Yeah.
off and put other
Yeah.
certain areas
Yeah,
on.
you buy the kit which comes with all the pieces.
Yeah.
You don't have to fit all the pieces, and you can fit. I think there's a few options per slot, ship
Yeah.
kit slot that's on each ship, which you can then move around. Yeah.
But the Python is a community favorite ship. So
Oh yeah.
It's actually I think I said this on the other day on the stream, or maybe the press said. It's been under my radar for quite a while. I hadn't really paid much attention to the Python, and then it came back, and well, not then it came back. I
Yeah.
started doing the capturing the footage and stuff,
Yeah.
and seeing this, and suddenly I realised that the Python does look pretty
yeah.
mega.
I've just been told, the guys backstage, that apparently the chat are really appreciating that one, so that's good.
That's
I'm,
cool,
I'm really
good.
glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And then another one, let's show the last one that we're going to show today, and that is the last one of these ship kits, and that is the Vulture.
Oh,
so the
I love
Vulture
the
ship
Vulture.
kits. Wait, that's not
That's
it.
not a
that's
Vulture.
the
Viper.
Mark III. Next one.
Oh.
But that also is
It
lovely,
looks
so
lovely.
let's have another look at it.
There
But
you go.
look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
What is going on
Oh,
there?
wow, it just
I've got a new
looks
favourite ship. It's the Vulture.
It looks like a transformer or
It
something.
does
It's
look
got
like a
like
transformer.
it just looks incredible now.
It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Not that
Yeah.
it didn't before, but
It's amazing what a few extra
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
can do to the overall
Yeah.
shape of the ship. Give it a really different
Again,
style.
You will be able to choose and take different bits off, put different
Again,
bits
yeah,
on,
yeah,
all that sort
absolutely.
of stuff. Yeah.
just go and
All right.
purchase it. get it in game, get them on,
So we
on
talked.
board.
Let's get a question. I want to see if there's questions here about
Reciprocator. You can't leave him hanging.
What? Sorry.
The reciprocator. You can't leave him
Oh,
hanging.
the reciprocator.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. Will crew members be customizable with character creation?
No, but sorry, but only because
hanging and
they're their
disappointed.
own people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not to say that in the future we might not have this capability. Clearly, we've got the avatar generation system, so
Which is the thing being used to generate their
absolutely.
faces
So
anyway.
it's not outside the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
Just not for these current batch of fighter pilots. They're all ready to go. They're all kind of pre-baked.
Yeah.
So Gwai here asks how many fighters is it possible to launch at once?
One fighter
At a time.
And
At
what's
a
the,
time.
what's the reason behind that? What do you think is?
There's only one guy in your ship for a start.
Okay, right,
Yes.
sure, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So he's either firing your main ship or the fighter.
But with the manufacturing in the field,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I've only got one, so I've got to be careful, because if it's lost or destroyed,
yeah, it can be remade
you know, you
straight
can
away.
remanufacture and get straight back
Yeah,
in again. So
sure.
And being serious for a moment, which is unusual for me, there are technical and gameplay considerations that we have to go through. So if you could launch 5, 10, 15 fighters, not only would that be incredibly difficult to balance, it probably will be technically rather a little bit more unpleasant as well.
yeah.
So there it is.
So this is a good reference to, and hopefully the people at home will appreciate this one, from Shaver of Yaks at Tane Piper on Twitter. Remember, you can use the hashtag AskElite to get your questions answered. We're going to be loads more questions tomorrow, reminding people of stuff as well. But Tane Piper, good reference. If you get this, then you're one of the old school crew, I think. He says, will the new passengers be like the ones from Frontier? Will they not? They don't want any questions asked, and you might get a tail.
Okay, so there will be VIPs that would prefer to avoid any Imperial entanglements,
Okay, very good.
things of that nature.
Great.
Yes,
All right, awesome.
Yes.
basically.
We're looking to do things with
We want to make
suspect people.
absolutely. We want to make the VIPs as a larger group of people, a variety as possible.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
have those kind of wrinkles that happen and you know,
Absolutely.
interest that happens during the journey. Sorry, I keep stepping all
No,
over
no,
you.
it's
don't
not at all. I need to let the experts
just-
talk
I've got-
about their thing.
He's the talent.
I'm just excited to get through these
You
things.
can't silence the talent.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Look at that face.
Further to that, can you barter with passengers for more money, especially for riskier missions? Did you hear the question?
I didn't actually.
I
Sorry.
did. I think I did. This is the can you barter with passengers to get to make them
right,
pay
yeah.
you more, or you know change the amount of the
Right,
contract's
money-
worth.
contract's worth. So
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. But what you can do, especially with the VIPs,
Yeah.
they'll often have additional requests in flight, and they're optional. You can choose to fulfil them or not, and you can fulfil them for big tips. So you can make a lot more money.
Okay, the next question, at Edward C. Lewis on Twitter,
Ooh.
that's me, says, are we going to bring SRV paint jobs to the game?
It's interesting that Edward C. Lewis asked that.
It is very interesting that I
Yeah.
How
asked
about you
that question.
fire up maybe another
Oh,
little
we've
bit
got
of,
another video
bit
to
of
show.
footage?
Well,
maybe it will
let's
answer
play a
itself.
little
I'm
video.
not
Oh,
sure.
there you go. So yes,
But maybe it does.
look at that. We are bringing SRV paint jobs to the game as well, so we can finally customize
Yeah.
your paint jobs as well.
That's quite a swish-looking one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's nice.
it looks really nice. So yeah, paint jobs are coming to SRVs. So another layer of customization for your vehicles in Elite Dangerous. Again, just frontierstore.net. Buy them, unlock them for your account.
Paint
And
jobs have
if
gone
you,
down
use,
really
if
well.
you use the code Adam
Adam
Woods,
told you to go
then,
here.
then you'll get
then I
30%.
get-
You're really helping me in his. No, he doesn't. That's not true. That's not true.
If you
There's no
click
code.
my affiliate link through adamwoods.com,
10% of sales.
I've just sent someone to adamwoods.com and I don't know
It doesn't exist. Don't go to adamwoods.com.
Yeah, but no,
It's
a
bad
serious
place.
note, they do look lovely. And
Yeah, very nice.
yeah.
And these are just examples of a few. I'm not
yeah,
sure
just a
how
few
many-
examples, yeah,
We've got 30 seconds more
of
this.
some of the sort of general colours. They look great. They make the SRV look quite different in, you know, sort
Yeah.
of quite purposeful at times.
It's all about customization and personalization.
And so now you can theme and customize all the way down
exactly
to the SRV.
Fighters, your main ship, and your SRV.
and your SRV.
Complete colour coordination.
Yep. I'm definitely going with the either blue or the red
I
style
think the
colours. I
orange,
really like
the
them.
orange is really nice.
Really
I
like
like the
that.
orange. Orange is good.
Yeah. Also, look at the detail on that planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that segue, didn't you have something else that you wanted to talk about with something to do with the planet generation, or was that something?
That we've covered that.
Oh, did we?
I believe
When?
we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ed,
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that you forgot to talk about earlier today?
I think we've covered everything
Yeah.
now.
Oh, right, okay.
Finally,
So far, yeah.
I've used up all the memory and it's all gone.
Okay, I really thought there was something left. So I'm
Okay, so
very
time to
sorry.
go now, is it?
Yeah, no, yeah, we've still got some time left as well. So yeah, we've still got some
Okay.
more things to show on the screen, some more questions to answer, and then we will be getting back as well to David Braben part 3. David Braben part 3 of the interview, and also finishing with a community exclusive video. This time by the guys who work with Galcop, so Felix. He makes those really, really beautiful. Have you seen any of them?
Yeah,
They're sort
I
of
think so.
50s style retro videos.
Yeah,
He's made
nice.
a really
Yeah.
fantastic one exclusively for us to use at Gamescom. So thanks for that, Felix. We'll play that up at the very end of this segment. But should we get back to some more questions? And I think we've got some more.
Let's do it.
Some more cosmetic-y videos to show as well, which is very cool. All right. Where are we up to here? I'm going to go
Don't make any more questions up.
No, I'm not going to do that, sorry. Disorganized says, can we expect passengers carrying SRVs? He said buggy, but of course we know that that's not the correct term. SRVs, maybe a smallish 2 to 4 seater and a minibus option.
So for 2.2, no. And the main reason for that, I sound really bad, don't I, when I decide, no, actually,
But
you can't.
Sorry,
but
what?
just remember how many things we have said yes
yeah, so
to, and
that's-
how many features and
let me-
content
let
things
me-
we have said yes to.
Well, we'll get to that as
Let me
well.
We've only
attempt to
said a few
qualify.
no's. It's been quite outweighed, I think.
Let me attempt to qualify why
Sorry.
I'm being such a meanie as well. I don't mean to be mean, and that's just my horrible nature. So the reason that we don't have them at the moment, and we don't need the SRV, specialised SRVs for them, is because all of the ports that you go to have ship docks in general, where the passengers want to go to. So it's always better to go there with a ship. So that's not to say in the future, I'm not quite sure how it might work, but possibly if there were settlements that accepted passengers that didn't have ship docks.
Yeah.
But even then, you could just kind of land very close. So probably not in the immediate future. Sorry.
Okay, so let's try and find it. Godsent. Yes. It's
With
difficult. They have all of
the E with a
all the
3.
kids these days use all of the
Yeah.
It's crazy
emojis,
kids.
don't they? If this has been asked already, if this hasn't been asked already,
Yeah.
will it be possible to command the fighters to target specific points on the enemy ship? Good question. Sub-targets.
Okay, so yeah, we're looking at this.
It's an interest. Yeah.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Possibly is the answer.
Yeah.
That there are technical considerations, there are
User
gameplay
interface,
considerations,
UI.
and there are
Yeah.
user interface considerations. So it's not unthinkable, but we need to look at all the angles. So we've not come to a solid conclusion on that
Yeah,
yet.
the armchair commander, just as we're having a discussion here, the armchair commander in me, the armchair coder and developer and designer, why don't you just do it like this? In me says, could you not just switch over to the ship, target the sub-target yourself, and then go back, and then it stays targeting that particular thing?
It's possible, but it comes down to legibility. Like, if you want to change targets, then you have to go back into them,
the ship,
control them, and then set the target. So the honest answer is I'm not sure.
Okay,
It might happen.
But it's being considered this time.
It might happen.
Everything that we're talking about is work in progress. Everything that you've seen on the screen is work in progress the last few days. So let's keep going. Okay, the Pirate Orc says, if your fighter is wanted, will the mothership become wanted if it lands back in the mothership?
So crime is applied to the player, not the ship. If that makes sense. So if you do something illegal while you're on your fighter, you're the one that's wanted. So then you go into your main ship, and you're still the one that's wanted.
Absolutely. In fact, it's fair to say that the crime will, if you commit a crime in a fighter, which is very easy to do, and it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. But if you do that,
if there are some out there that want to, and that's
except if you
fine.
want to be, if you
We
want to
judge
be,
you, but that's fine.
If you want to be a naughty boy, you're such a joker. Then you can, and not only will your fighter be wanted, be a valid target for bounty hunters, your mothership will as well straight away.
Yeah.
So it just totally covers it. So even before you dock, your mothership can be targeted and destroyed. So it doesn't really matter what you do. If you get interestingly though, on a side note, if you are wanted in a fighter and someone destroys the fighter, they won't claim the bounty because obviously they haven't killed you because you're not in it.
Yeah.
So the only way to claim a bounty is to destroy the mothership.
Yeah.
But they can attack your fighter and destroy it with no penalty.
Yeah.
Because you've been a bad boy.
Because you're wanted. Yeah.
Really bad. Don't do it.
One more question.
Bad.
Mythos 09. Why do the fighters have cockpits? Good question. If they're remote controlled.
That's a good question.
Well, There's a real kind of simple answer, and it's because so that we leave the avenue open to have them manned if we need it in the future.
Yeah.
So I mean, fundamentally, I could go into the context of how these fighters would have been built with pilots in mind, and then the technology's there to basically nullify that. But why waste a perfectly good fighter?
And also maybe like this is kind of coming out of fiction a little bit, but if you're in VR, we're seeing VR now, and it's comfortable to place the person in a kind of grounded setting. So maybe there's a bit of a fiction behind that, saying even when you're controlling a ship, if you're in it, you're better able to judge distances and feel more
it's
at
the
home
same as the audio
in
thing.
fighting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's been created to help.
There's quite a few different sort of points to that.
But it's worth it's worth noting that who knows, in the future there might be really good reasons to be in your fighter.
Yeah.
And
for example,
okay, well let's not.
Oh, there's one more bit there for that.
Whoa.
Sorry, one more bit. Shh. No, so it's just that when you use telepresence to get into a fighter, there is a tether that is a maximum distance that fighter can travel, whilst you still retain this virtual reality control over it. So again, possibly, if we want fighters ever to operate at more extreme ranges, that's when then they would have to be manned.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different very valid reasons for it.
That range thing ties into SRVs as well, as why aren't SRVs then?
Yeah, exactly. SRVs aren't, because they can literally go any distance from the mothership.
Because they're not.
So take that, all you unbelievers. I didn't mean that. I love you all.
Wow, I think that was completely uncalled for.
GamesCom
I apologise.
It's just a little bit tired.
That was wrong.
Day 4 is going to be a lot of fun with Sandy.
It's been very
Smarco
long.
here today.
I've talked too much.
What outfit do you have planned for tomorrow, Sandy? That's the next question.
What I've planned for tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm going to drink loads of Fritz Cola.
No, what's
what
outfit?
My outfit. I think we might be seeing a kind of return to the beige rider, maybe, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Don't even stop.
So 2.2, The Guardians, is coming mid-October, and we've got lots of really, really exciting stuff in it.
Yeah.
And other things that are
maybe some
coming
more
as well
questions or
is,
content?
well, no. Tell me what you think of the wireframe paint jobs. What do you think of those?
Well, it's quite interesting. You should talk about the wireframe paint jobs.
Is it?
Yeah, they went down very well. So if I remember rightly, it was the Cobra
I believe so.
that had it.
A really nice nod to the original game.
Yes, it looked fantastic.
Which was awesome.
It would be quite nice if there maybe was some other
Wouldn't it be
ships.
lovely?
Can you make that happen? Can you ring them up again?
1 second. I'm just going to the
We
guys.
think hard enough, maybe.
Guys, can we have some? Can we have a wireframe paint job made, please? Come on, Chris G, hurry up.
Let's just make it for the
Make it for the Anaconda, I think.
the Anaconda, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Anaconda.
I've been told, here.
look at
that
that.
was quick.
Yeah.
Those
That was
art guys
really,
are pretty good.
really quick.
That's not too bad.
So this is
Gotta love the monochrome.
introducing the wireframe paint job for the Anaconda.
Yeah, it
in
looks really
in
nice.
the classic black and white. It's showing off the industrial hangar really well as well.
Nice, yeah.
Nice clean lines. It looks very purposeful.
So to set up this for people who might not know what this is, it's based on the original 1984 frames from
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
original
When wireframe was all the rage, then.
Yeah.
That was all the kids wanted.
You couldn't get enough of that.
They're
So we've
into the
got some
Spartan
more as
look.
well. We've got the Asp as well. That's coming
Asp
in
is
as
getting
well.
a paint job.
Everyone
Yep.
loves the Asp.
I think this one suits it really
And it
well.
looks so
with
nice.
with
Everything
its-
looks better in
yeah.
black and white.
And also, just this not paint job aside, but look at the detail when you pan across that with all the environment maps running off the cockpit glass and the specular. I just kept redoing this capture because it just is.
Big shout out to the art guys.
Yeah.
They're so
Yeah.
amazing.
Every time I go in here, I'm finding new details to it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Awesome.
incredible.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
beautiful.
incredible.
Absolutely beautiful.
So that's the Asp.
Yeah, shall we show another one as well? Why don't we show the... this is beautiful, the Federland.
Oh my
Look at that
God,
thing.
they're going to
Yeah.
go crazy for that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here it is in all its beauty.
Something new for the FTL.
That is one mean machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks even meaner now with its stealth black and bold white lines. Again, the attention to detail, the specular, the response on the materials, it all just looks absolutely incredible. And the Python.
Oh, is that just gone straight to the Python?
that's
that's
gone
yeah,
straight in
That's
there to
fine.
the
Let's roll
Python.
straight into it.
And then should we roll into the last one as well? We've got one more after this.
There we go. Look at
Nice.
that.
So
Again,
that's
I
what
think
the
that
original
leads-
wireframe was.
It's
on
really
top.
funny
it-
seeing
it-
them matched up on it.
Yeah.
Seeing where it's different and where it's the same.
Yeah.
It's nice. And
Absolutely
then
There's a little bit more
finally-
detail now.
So I'm not entirely sure when these will be available or go on sale or anything like that. I actually don't know.
And last but not least,
Five
the
Mark
Viper.
III.
Mark III.
Yes, that is correct.
There we go.
So a
That used
lovely,
to be
a
my
lovely little
favourite
nod, a
game,
lovely
Maybe
shout out
Ship.
to the core community who obviously, you know, love those old 1980, the original 1984.
Yeah,
which,
absolutely.
which we all do, we all do. So let's take a little break before we answer some more questions. So I think we'll do, shall we play David Braben interview
Yeah.
part 3?
Yeah.
Do it.
So I hope you guys enjoy it here, and I
Do
hope you
it.
enjoy it at home. We'll be right back straight away as soon as it finishes with some more questions answered, and then we will be leaving you with, another competition. Yeah, let's
that
do
sounds
the
good.
competition.
Community video.
He's generous, man.
And the community video as well, thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, and your summary. Don't think you're getting away with not doing the summary of the day.
The only thing that anyone ever
You're
comes to watch
trying-
these streams
you're
for,
trying to get away
I
from it.
completely understand.
All right, I
that
think they're
now,
ready.
it's fine.
Yeah, if we can show that DB video. Thank you.
So I want to talk about story and player narrative in the world of Elite Dangerous, and it's worked really well. You know, the rise of we've seen the first player power coming to power now. We're there in 2.2, backed by 15,000 players, which is a small portion of the total player base. But that's shows that there's so many dedicated people supporting the new guy Yuri Grom to come. Very exciting. But what it means is how much people care about the different elements of the galaxy. We've seen with Jacques Station, we're seeing people establishing a foothold outside the main human bubble. Is all great to see, and it sort of echoes the part of the story where we have this whole concept which we've called the missing, of people over the last millennium, when spaceships became ever cheaper, headed out into the unknown. We've talked about the Empire, but there will be so many other people who headed out on their equivalent of the Oregon Trail or whatever and didn't make it. You know, where you see people who they may have built some sort of homestead or whatever, but didn't survive long enough. They didn't make that first winter in the terms of the American settlement. And so I think in terms of the way the story is pulled together, I've been really delighted the way people have engaged with it, you know, and the way it has worked. I mean, we've seen the Dangerous Games over the last few months, which I think have worked very well, and people have really, it's captured people's imagination, as has Jack's. I'm amazed the dedication just to get all that way out there takes ages. And I thought the Pleiades were quite a way out, you know, and but it's lovely to see so many people engaging with this, and with the wonderful world that actually players are creating as much as anything. You know, this sort of emergent story where people are interacting, people do care about the future, and where, even though it's not sort of initially quite what we expected, the amount of role playing we see going on. And also the other thing is, I typically play as Commander Braben in open, and people are actually, it's really great. You know, I did think originally I would just get killed, and actually that did happen a lot in the beta. I think quite a lot of times on YouTube. But anyway, the point being that people are genuinely they chat. I met some people out on Merope not long ago, you know, and it's just fun to have such a real sense of positivity, of community. And I think a lot of those features, you know, people playing in Wings and things like that, have really embraced that. You know, we see these the Distant Worlds expedition, which I think was wonderful, crossing all the way to the other side of the galaxy, which is even more a huge undertaking. And the people who meet up at Sagittarius A star, for those who don't know, is the black hole at the centre of our galaxy, which is a hugely long way away from the human bubble. And even the human bubble in Elite Dangerous, which is a huge volume with a huge number of stars and systems, which is where almost all of the game activity takes place, is a tiny little dot on the scale of the galaxy. And so I think that the rise of the player-driven story is wonderful. We're seeing so many people engage with it, whether they're engaging with it just at a local level trading, but we're seeing more people sort of breaking out of that routine, if you like, and starting to engage with the story. That's something I want to see more of. And essentially it's something where we're at the beginning of something. We're going to see a lot more of these things to come. We're starting to see first indications of alien life. And I mean life, with archaeology to come as well, and species that are long dead, but there's a reason they're long dead, and that will come. And I will even give a slight hint, the reason they're long dead is not... A lot of things that I don't want to spoil that are very, very exciting. There are some indications that we're showing here at GamesCom of what is in the galaxy. And that's, of course, extremely exciting. And so it's great fun from our side as well. You know, and this is why I'm trying not to give out spoilers. I mean, there are some things that are slight spoilers, but it is very exciting. And to see how players react to it, to see how players interact when they do make discoveries. You know, I love some of the things that are coming, that are in there, some of the things that are already in there. And it's very funny as a game developer when you know something's there and it takes a long time for it to appear, for someone to essentially find it. Because we've got such a big haystack with our needles in it, if you like, from the metaphoric point of view, for people to find things. But it's very, very exciting. You know, this is a step on the road. It's an important step on the road, but we have so many exciting things to come. You know, there is a real story that we are telling here that is great, and we're seeing some of the elements of it. But that's the really big thing that's to come as well, as that becomes more, there's more in the game, more visibility of it, and better ways for players to interact with it. And we're trying to make sure that the player-driven narrative is, it has the opportunity to be front and center. You know, we already call out commander names in Galnet when particular commanders have made a difference, if you like. And I think we want to see more and more of that, especially when it comes to big battles or significant battles which have changed the course of what might be to come. So Jacques' station is fascinating. The response to his plight. For those of you who don't know, Jacques runs a station that headed off into the unknown. There was a community goal where people brought a lot of supplies and fuel for his journey. It wasn't quite enough there, and I think other people brought unknown artifacts to him as well, so it didn't help. But he didn't make it as far as he'd hoped, so he ended up lost in space. He had a problem, he had a failure, and players finally found him in an immense galaxy. Player, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember the commander name, the guy who, I'm sure it will come up in the caption here. There you go, you're going to find who it is now. And found him, and then people have brought supplies to him, and now we've got a foothold, a human foothold, a long way outside the bubble, a really long way outside the bubble. I think that's amazing, the number of players who've made the journey and continuing to make the journey to bring him supplies, and I think that's really exciting. I think, you know, I'm hoping more settlements will be set up around it and we'll get a second bubble. I think that's what looks like is going to happen. But that's being player driven, and that's great. It's really wonderful to see players engaging with different aspects of the story, so I think that's great, and it drives longevity in the game and the richness of the whole thing. You know, the whole sort of hut and mug thing as well, I thought was very interesting and funny. You know, I think it's really good, and, you know, so do you expect it? I think you hope for these sort of things. You hope people will really engage with it, and they have, and so it's really appreciated, and it's great to see, you know, that what we'll try and do is embrace that and make things better, so that there are more ways that these groups can have great fun in the future.
And we are back, and that's, again, another fascinating, interesting
absolutely.
insight.
It's always great to listen to David talking about the game and about what drives his motivation to how the game wants to be and stuff. It's great.
Things like that. Oh, apparently my mic was turned away from my face. There you go. Yeah, and we've got another part of that interview tomorrow as well. So part 4, the concluding segment of the interviews with David. I hope you've enjoyed them. It was a lot of fun recording them, and I hope you liked the little touch there of the Commander Cly, okay, or Clee. I'm sorry, the pronunciation. Sly, yeah.
Possibly.
Okay. So a few more questions before we wrap up. Actually, I want to do one thing quickly first, and that is actually we missed out some paint job stuff. We've got a whole selection of images to show of the fighters. We showed some stuff yesterday.
Yeah. No, sorry, I keep trying to jump over you.
No, it's fine. You do it. Yes, what you do.
You're the talent. Get in
You're
there.
well known for doing that.
Just let me talk. Yeah.
No, I'm well known. You carry on. No, I'm not going to do that.
Fighter paint jobs. We already know that fighter paint jobs are coming. But what we showed yesterday in the footage was some of the sort of flat colours or just sort of basic colour ones. We do have some pattern ones or more kind of different design ones
nice.
in the pipeline as well.
Very nice.
So there'll be more along the lines of what you're seeing here, which is the ever luxurious and
GU97.
GU97.
Hey.
The best fighter, obviously, because it's the Federal F-63 Condor, and it has to be the best.
Of course. Oh my God.
Really, I love these images when we have like a ship chart like that. That just really shows out.
Oh, look at the new guy.
The new Taipan, yeah.
That's right.
Here it is.
What a lovely piece of work.
Yeah.
With the,
Still think it looks like
it's
an
kind of
F-14.
strange with the module on top there. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
lovely.
That's,
Yeah.
work in progress.
So yeah, that's just a little preview into some more, customization options that will be coming soon. So.
That's awesome stuff. Right, a couple more questions before we leave you today with the community video, which looks awesome.
Nice.
And we've got competition coming up and also Adam's summary. So let's do a few more questions from the Twitter. Use the hashtag #AskElite combined with hashtag EDGC16, and we'll pick some more out. We're going to be lots more questions tomorrow, as well as some more interviews with David Braben, the final section, and some juicy stuff as well that comes up throughout that we'll discuss later.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have a look. Blim Blam Blom, or Blim Blom Blam, asks, will these new docks and other locations, which we showed off earlier in this stream as well, be used as mission destinations?
I
didn't hear that at all.
Yeah,
so I
sorry.
was listening, I just didn't hear it. I think.
It's really loud here, by the way. Just so everyone else, it sounds probably like we're shouting at you.
We can't hear each other up here very well. No, sorry.
Yeah. What? Also, you're really... Oh, I was going to say, sorry.
Did you say...
No.
Right,
will
back
these
to the
new
question.
docks and other locations be used as mission destinations?
Right.
We'd already answered
Young
that,
Sandy.
No, I don't recall saying that one.
okay.
But so not initially. They're fixed, persistent locations that you can have fun. Have fun just doing normal gameplay with. It makes a lot of sense, and I think the architecture, the way they've been coded and put in, means that it's a path that we can take. So
all the coders probably just go no.
Yeah, and I get back and then I get lynched. So no, not for 2.2, but it's definitely something that we're looking into.
Thank you, young Sandy Samarco. We've
Yes.
got Olivia Vespera. Thank you very much for sending in your question. Asks, while you're in the fighter, can you tell the crewman,
fighter
or
pilot.
woman, the fighter pilot, to high wake to a random system, or?
Okay, so no, because they're not licensed to operate frameshift drives.
Yeah.
That's an order that the captain, the commander of the ship, has to make.
So that's a good. Again, it does sound like you're Sandy No Samarco today, but that's because we've told everybody about so much stuff, and we tried to fill it. And I think it comes down to basically we've tried to tell you everything that we can do.
Yeah, well,
there was stuff that will slip through, so do keep those questions
sure.
coming in.
It's
Also, I'd rather be
but
honest.
it's the detail. Yeah,
Exactly,
that's the way the feature's going to work. We don't want to put anyone down the
we don't do
false
spin.
lie. This is
know
this
how
is what
to.
it is. It's no, but there's, as the last 3 days have shown, there's a lot of stuff that we're saying yes to in the game already. So
how long does? Sorry, this is from Sean Roy. Thank you again. So how long does reprinting a Lost Fighter take?
we're not. Well, we haven't got a definitive number yet. It's probably one of the key, or not key, but it's a very big balancing point for ship launch fighters and how the engagements will happen. So really, we're still balancing, and we may even balance once the beta goes out and actually we get the feedback from you guys playing it, because of course you get a small group at work that can play it, but there's nothing like having thousands of people playing it at once. So still balancing, and maybe balancing even after we release the beta as well.
I think it's probably worth pointing out that it's going to be reasonably quick.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's like 20 seconds, a minute, or whatever, something along there. If it was too long, then there'd be no real chance to have them to actually have more than one fighter in an engagement, which is something that we want players to at least to potentially be able to do, even if it's not the standard length of combat.
Yeah. Want to get lower the barrier of access. I think it was our buzzword.
We've been saying that an awful lot. Lower that barrier.
It's a
lower
perfect
that barrier
tagline
to
for it.
access.
Commander Fusion uses the hashtag #AskElite to say, will there be a way to hack or hijack another ship's fighter to fight for you? And by the way, thank you for this amazing game.
Do you want to do this one? Because then otherwise I'll be like meanie again.
Meanie Sanders Marco.
Let me start with saying thank you for that nice
Thank you
comment
very
at the
much.
end. Yep, we're
Start
all
on a
really
positive.
pleased. Yeah, absolutely. management. We're really pleased that you guys are playing and enjoying it, and we hope you really enjoy 2.2 as well. On the question, no, you won't be able to hack other people's fighters. I'm sitting next to the Nomad too much and just saying no.
Yeah, it's rubbing off on you.
Look, I do want to add though, that's a really good idea.
It is a really good idea.
And the reason that we're having to say no at the moment is because we've been so busy. It's just it's an avenue that we haven't really explored. But that's not to, that's not to say something like that couldn't happen, because sometimes some of the feedback we get, it kicks off really quickly into something that we then want to do.
Yeah.
So the ability, because they're virtual, they're basically drone controlled, the concept of taking over control of someone else's ship is very plausible. Lots of interesting options there. So
could I do my armchair designer? do you permit it? And this is not the caveat that this is nothing.
It's a
actually
private
is going in the
conversation.
game. Yeah, this is a private. Stop watching for a second. Could I utter the word engineer upgrade?
I did hear that, and I'm saying right next to
engineerable.
you. Oh,
engineer
okay.
upgrade.
Engineerable.
Look at him, he's actually designing right now.
Yeah.
Let's obviously absolutely no promises, no
So again,
timeframes,
no, not initially. But
Yes.
the fighter hangars, fighter bays, they are modules.
They
we could make them. We could make them engineered. We could give them
It's all
upgrades.
extensions of systems that we've already got in the game, and so some of the setup work is there.
Yeah.
But
Well, the plan has
nothing
always
to
been
announce
to
on that
add
yet.
more recipes, add more blueprints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're not recipes, you don't bake them, they get made. Silly Sandy. They're blueprints, and we want to add more. And I think we are adding more already, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if down the line we didn't get some
let's
ones that will
stop
focus on that.
designing live on a live stream again.
Yeah,
It's gonna take
otherwise
60 after
I'm
3
already
days
in
of drinking
trouble.
and
He
eating.
will be an armchair designer. This is what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, if you're gonna be
you
an armchair
flare,
designer.
you get the creative passion going in him.
That's it, that's it.
He's going to go.
Get
He's gonna
some-
go.
Right, so let's leave it there for today in terms of the questions, but do keep them coming through. #AskElite, and also heading over to the forums and using the forum post there to ask some questions. We want to answer loads of these tomorrow, so keep them coming in, even though we will have to bring back Sandro No Samarco over here.
I'm sure there'll be some that I don't have to say no to.
Yeah. But
Please.
Yeah. Okay, so
No, this is
and also we'll be doing a massive recap of almost everything, showing off all the videos, talking about them in detail, hopefully answering questions that are associated with those videos as we play them. We'll do our best to arrange a live stream in the next 24 hours, essentially. So before we do leave you, there's 2 more things I want to do. Tell you as well about the exciting October date, the middle of October for 2.2. Yeah, come on, Sandy, you got to get back hard at work when you get back.
It's on,
And,
like Tron.
It's on. Yeah.
Another surprise competition. Here
Surprise
comes the
competition.
eagle. Here comes the eagle. I'm not going to do it again.
Hey, is it going to...
Surprise bomb. Competition bomb. All right, so what have we got? We've got some more of this Razer stuff to give away, actually.
Oh, here comes
This
the green.
Kraken Pro green.
Allow
thing
you to
here.
enjoy
There
the
you go.
incredible audio that Elite Dangerous
Oh,
has.
you should have modelled this. You get the...
Allow you to navigate Starport services
What else have I got under here?
like never before. Other mouse mats are available. And why have a mouse mat without a mouse? So also have a mouse.
Very good.
Other brands are definitely available. Now back over to the competition.
I'm just enjoying what's happening. Okay, yeah, so back over to the competition. Basically, please, this is going to be a Twitter-based competition, because I don't think we've given away one of these on Twitter. So I don't know, what do you want people to say on Twitter? What do you want people to use? The hashtag EDGC16 and answer this simple question.
What's your favourite ship in Elite Dangerous?
What is your favourite ship in Elite Dangerous? I've got a better one. Don't do that. Stop.
Yeah, I agree.
Which ship can't you wait to use the new wireframe paint job
Ooh.
on? Let us know.
Right.
I want to use the
Okay.
wireframe paint job with, and then tell us what ship it is, and we'll
I'd
pick
like to
somebody
keep-
overnight at random to win that as well. However, second ship comes in here. It's an ASP. It's exploring the area. It's having a little scout around. Oh, what's it found? It's found. It's found a Thrustmaster joystick, which we'll be giving away right now to people in the chat. Sorry, guys who are here. I feel quite bad. Giving away to the chat. Okay.
Make room.
What I want you guys to do is to say, "We love Sandro No Samarco." No.
What?
Yes, do that, because I've
Wait,
already said it
what
now. I'm
was
going
that?
crazy.
Oh.
We love Sandro No Samarco.
Oh, I thought you said old.
No,
That's
no,
okay.
no, no,
no,
no, we never
fine.
do that, sorry.
That's
Sandro
all right
knows
then.
Marco, so please, if you could start filling the chat with that, we'll pick somebody at random to win the Thrustmaster as well.
You need people to enter this competition. Then
Yeah.
no one's going to say it.
No, they're all going to say it because they want
They're
they want the
definitely going
Thrustmaster.
to say it.
Well,
They're
even
So
I-
definitely
while
gonna
that's
say
filling
it.
Even I
up,
do it.
stop
Yeah.
saying it now, but while we're collecting the winner, I want you to do
Oh, yeah, here it comes.
the daily
Okay,
update.
okay, so Elite Dangerous at GamesCom 2016. So far, day one has brought passenger gameplay, tourist hotspots, route planner using filter, new Beluga liner. Day two saw the advent or the reveal of ship-launched fighters, a new Taipan fighter, fighter crew, in the dock variants. That was day one, but we're also going to talk
Yeah, it's
about
fine.
it on day two as well. Fighter paint jobs. And day three, we have seen the quality of life episode, which included ship transfer, module storage, module transfer, SRV paint jobs, new wireframe paint jobs, CQC environment, space shipyard, and
The thing that I forgot.
extrajudicial payments or shady contact.
I think that you probably missed a few, but he deserves a round of applause, please. And a round of applause for the
Well
chat as well.
done.
For
to the star.
bringing those sorts of things. Yes, yes, yes.
It's a really pressurised when everyone's just sat there like, is he
Yeah.
going to do
Is he
it?
going to do it? Well, I hope. I think that's everything. He's probably missed. I'm probably sure the chat are probably saying things that we've missed, but there's
Yeah.
lots that we're talking about.
It's good enough for me.
Basically, there's a lot in
Yes.
2.2.
And we've got a lot more to talk about tomorrow as well, or we'll actually be recapping a lot of that stuff. But we've got more questions from you guys, so please do to come back as well. And of course, the final part of David Braben's interview.
Yes.
So and I
Yeah.
think we've got some things throughout that we can talk about too. So let's.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy that. Do we have a winner? So we have a winner. It is Commander Marshall. So round of applause, Commander
Well
Marshall.
done, Commander
You've got
Marshall.
yourself that. So basically, get in touch, Commander Marshall. We'll be able to do the Twitter one quite easily tomorrow, and we'll announce the winner for the Twitter one tomorrow morning on the start. That's 10 a.m. So make sure you come back at 10 a.m. CET tomorrow for that. But the winner are Commander Marshall. Send us a YouTube message on this account, youtube.com/Frontier Developments, and then we'll be able to authenticate you. We'll be able to authenticate and
Make sure
get
you're
that
real.
sent over to your address. So that's it for day 3, and I'm feeling kind of sad already a little bit about this. It's over tomorrow. We've got the last day.
Yeah, it's the
I'm
last
feeling
day.
tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm just feeling very tired.
You're happy. I'm sad.
I am happy.
It's
You're
awesome.
sad. No, I'm also sad. Look,
Yes.
Okay.
so it's my sad face.
So we're gonna leave you because we're going mad. We're gonna leave you with this brilliant video made by the guys in GalCop. Thank you for Felix as well who made this.
Yeah.
So let's play that video,
Well done.
and again we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. See ya.
Greetings, traveler. The GalCop Commission for Long-Distance Diplomatic Relations extends a warm welcome to you as you prepare to embark on what will undoubtedly be a long but rewarding voyage. This video is meant to familiarize commanders with the do's and don'ts of long-duration exploration missions as they head out to stake their claim in the New Galactic Cooperative's rapidly flourishing diplomatic expansion zone in the Coreward regions. As you begin your journey to the expansion zone, your first consideration should naturally be your starship, your vehicle, your home, and your friend for this journey. Choosing the correct vessel is tantamount to your success. While it is of course possible to complete the voyage with a short-range frameshift drive, it is not recommended. Thankfully, access to independent free agent engineers has presented new opportunities for commanders to turn their favorite ship into a respectable long-range exploration vessel. Please note, however, that some upgrades do require extremely toxic materials, and the GalCop Commission for Long-Distance Diplomatic Relations cannot be held liable for any damages incurred from stuffing poisonous or radioactive materials into your spacesuit pockets. Remember, resources such as fuel will not be readily available out in the fringe, so remembering which stars you can safely extract fuel from could potentially save you from a premature end to your trip as you float adrift in the endless void, fruitlessly gasping for breath, while your stalwart vessel instead becomes your powerless, frozen tomb. While some seasoned explorers may scoff at the idea of bringing armaments into the frontier, the possibility remains of encountering a hitherto unknown and unexpected threat to life and limb. So while arming oneself for the trip may not be a priority,
They're wrong. Everyone would Rosa. The Hopi, Chuck, they're not coming for us. They're already here.
Of course, as every veteran explorer will no doubt agree, you should never ever look at the dot. More information regarding the subject can of course be found in the GalCop Anomalous Stellar Phenomena archival database, with the correct command level clearance. So, on behalf of the New Galactic Cooperative, we here at the GalCop Commission for Long Distance Diplomatic Relations would like to wish you all bon voyage, and we hope to see you soon.